Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome again to this short podcast about AI in project management. I'm really pleased today to bring a colleague from Saudi Arabia. Moamen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lloyd, for having me. I'm Moamen Youseff. I have more than 15 years of experience in the field of human capital, both on the consulting and the corporate fields. Basically on HR transformation, talent management, talent assessment. I'm an MBA holder. I'm certified assessor from different assessment tools like Hogan, Saville, Citic, and SHL and other assessment tools. I'm currently working in Case A. I'm leading lots of transformational projects in Case A. And previously, I have led lots of human capital assessment and talent management transformation all over the Middle East.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for sparing the time. And with your background around human capital, I'll be interested to hear your views on AI in project management.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let me ask you to begin those views. You know, from your perspective, what do you see as the use cases for AI in project management?
Yes, sure. Yeah, for the project, the use of AI in project management, especially or on the spectrum of human capital management projects and transformational projects, the AI is always used for some use cases like predictive analysis for risk management. So the AI models can analyze historical data, for example, to predict risks such as potential delays, such as budget overruns or some resource constraints, and this can for sure or foresight or these foresights can allow the project managers to make the proactive adjustments for the projects, especially for human capital transformation or management transformation projects, because there is some client expectations. So the AI can help in project management in managing the client expectation by, predicting for the risk and make the risk adjustments or the risk mitigations. It can be used as well for the resource optimization. So it can help in allocating the resources more effectively by matching the skill sets or the skills with the project needs and balancing the workloads and minimizing the bottlenecks of the project. So this is one of the use cases that we are experiencing in lots of assessment and lots of transformational projects. And for sure, the automated reports and monitoring. This is one of the use cases. For example, the AI-powered tools can generate a real-time reports. And for sure, this can make tracking, project KPIs, for example, provide visuals, dashboards that saves the save time and offer a clear insights into the project health and can help in reaching the project deadline. So I believe these are the more common use cases I have experienced from my experience in project management, especially for the transformational projects.
Fantastic. If you don't mind, I'm going to pick on your specialist area around the resource optimization, because, I think us in project management, we've been talking about resource optimization. It's almost like the holy grail of project control and project management. Have you actually seen it working well, this matching of skill sets between demand and supply?
Yeah, sure. Because, in project management, part of the use cases that I have experienced, it's like the utilization of the manpower. Because, all of the consulting projects, the main resource of the consulting project is the manpower and the people. So it can track, the utilization of people. And this helps for the increasing or leveraging the utilization by, allocating people on the right project that match with their own skill set. For example, that's called, for example, project manpower mobilization, and it can be used in the manpower mobilization, and it can be helped for leveraging or increasing the potential of the resources or the manpower resources in projects. So this is the spectrum that I can see can help for the resource optimization for the project management, especially for the management or management consulting projects.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see the opportunity. I know when I've been involved in resource management, one of the challenges that I've always seen is us as humans either having to record our time, and perhaps not being as disciplined as we could be at recording time.
Yes.
But also the actual forecasting is very complicated, and certainly as you look out further, and as a sub area of that, when you don't need a whole person, it becomes even harder. You need some time of somebody. So in terms of that challenge around recording actuals, maybe it's a cultural thing, but certainly in the UK, people don't necessarily record exactly what they're doing. Is that what you found as well?
It's like a little bit different in our kind of projects, because, in our management consulting projects, it's a scale-based, I can say, projects. So, it's like making like a historical tracking of same projects with the same scope. So with the same resource, allocation, so you can make the forecast using the historical data and forecasting the future of utilization for your own projects. So it's something like that.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. And obviously the more consistent, the easier it is to forecast, which obviously if they're too consistent, it makes you wonder about why you would have AI if they were completely consistent as it were. But definitely. I mean, I've seen organizations that might set out resource plans, and they might even have actuals where notwithstanding my challenge about do you record your actuals, but I haven't come across an organization that forecasts well. Have you seen organizations that forecast particularly well?
Yeah, actually, I can say it's the glory of the AI, because it can record all of the historical data, all of the performance records. So it can give you it's like the learning journey of your project management, and what is gone well in your project management, and what doesn't gone as planned. So it gives you some lesson learned, so you can overcome it, or you can make it so and you can make the adjustment using the historical data of your project management.
It's an interesting one, because certainly some of the stuff we do is about predicting down to the individual level as well. So if that certain person's involved in a project, is the project more or less likely to succeed, whether that's a project manager or a project sponsor or a business analyst or even a department, as it were. Now, given that, there's obviously two sides to that. Are you being fair to that individual using that historical data to infer the current project?
Yes.
And secondly, obviously, you're really pointing a finger at individuals as well. Yes. What do you think of those two challenges, as it were?
Yeah, I believe that it's the historical data always depend on the accuracy of the data, or the accuracy of recording of the data. So there is a kind of quality checks for the data that has been has been recorded. So there is some kind of quality checks for the data that has been entered into or has been embedded into the system. So this is one of the challenges. So there is the kind of quality checks for the data that has been entered into the project management tool or the AI driven tool that you're using. So this is one of the things that you can do it in order to guarantee the quality of the data that has been entered into the system. So this is one of the points.
I was just thinking of that poor individual who sort of, is sort of saying, well, this project's completely different to that project that you're using as a reference to forecast. And
yes.
No doubt at the detailed level, there are lots of differences between project 1 and project 2.
Yes, sure.
But how do you see that? Do you think that individual's being fair in terms of, challenging back the AI, as it were?
Yes, sure. There is some challenging, challenges regarding challenging back the AI, because it's always a challenge of losing the jobs. Losing the jobs or the replacement of the AI. For the project manager, for example, the project manager role, it's like it's always a challenge. And this can take us to another point, which is the future skill set that we need to make the people or make the people trained over it. So you need right now, you need you don't need like the traditional project manager. You need the one who's able to, or the project manager who's able to use the AI in his own advantage. So this is how it always comes for this kind of projects.
I think for me, both my example and your example, it goes to show that what we're looking for here is people that challenge the creative thinking element of the AI, because and for me, this is a really interesting one, because I think us as humans are inertly lazy as well. So if somebody gives you the answer, it's very easy to take that answer and run with it, as opposed to challenge it. I think we've done that on Google for years, haven't we? We've put a Google search in and we've accepted that that's the right answer. Or conversely, we've done that with a team member who you assume is giving you integrity in their answers. So I personally think when we talk about the future of skills, the project manager in particular, they've got to be able to feel confident that they can challenge some of the responses. Take bits, the accelerated answers, but then still make sure that they're focusing on the quality assuring the information that's been provided. What do you think?
Sure. And I have like a similar example. It's like the coding or the programming career. It's right now the programmer needs to validate the quality of the code that is generated by the AI. So it's like the skill set is gonna be changed in the future. It's like it's if the traditional example of the farming. Long years ago, before the tractors was invented, the farmer was supposed to wake up in the morning and using the traditional tools in order to make the farming. But by the inventing or the revolution that has happened in the farming or the agriculture industry, there is the tractors. So the farmer needs to be skilled by how to use this tool in order to make his own farming and his own agriculture more easy. So it's like I can see it. It's like the normal evolution of each industry. Each industry.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think the word you used about validation,
Yes.
I think is really key here, because
Yes.
definitely the role of validation is going to grow. I must tell you, I was with quite a senior group of people, and they were talking about the role of risk managers.
Right.
And they were saying that, you know, their salary is being increased, as it were, because they're validating the responses. And the group of people I was with were saying, oh, that's great in the short term, but what happens when those individuals who have got all of those high skills to be able to validate, what happens when they get grey and they get old, as it were? You know, where's the new experience that's coming
Yes.
through? You know,
Yes.
how do we get about that? How do we get around that type of challenge?
Yeah, I believe that when the dynamics of the industry changed, the market itself and the market size is becomes more bigger, because the spectrum, if you are talking about right now, the number of variables on each decision has been changed, because I believe the AI is going to be helping those kind of risk managers by it's like making the right analysis and using more than one variable, because the reality itself has been changed. So I believe that the AI can embed all of the variables, so you can have like a quality of decision.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Um, so the valid the validation piece is really important, as you
Yes.
said, and roles are definitely evolving here. You
Yes.
know, certainly as I go on my travels, you know, people are definitely grasping AI, as it were. You know, if you're a project manager, do you have any advice for people to start grasping AI?
Yeah, I would like to advise them to take the advantage of the AI, because sooner or later the AI is going to be affect. It's like a long time ago the internet that has been replaced lots of functions, and it has been like and has been making or has made like an evolution for some industries. So you need to make the benefit of the AI and make it for your own advantage, and for the growth of your own career, and don't consider it as an enemy for your growth, because sooner or later it's going to be effect.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. You've got to embrace it. You can't
Yes.
ignore it, you know, no matter where
Sure.
you are in your career, you know, and I think it goes back full circle as well. Earlier you were talking about, you know, the benefits of automation and
Yes.
efficiency, and for me, I think this is a really pertinent benefit, as it were. If you can do, you know, parts of your role more rapidly, it means that the bits that the AI can't do, you can really focus in on and hopefully improve the quality as well. Yeah.
Yes. Sure. Sure.
You know,
Yes.
it's brilliant. It's brilliant. So along the way there, you were also talking about the lessons of previous projects and the human capital. How do you think AI could unlock those lessons?
Yeah. Sure. Because the AI can make like the historical analysis for each project. And it was not a consulting project. It was one of the companies that I've worked for before. They have like a database for client management. They have like story, or like some lesson learned, and the action has been taken for each client in order to make him satisfied. Using the AI, it has helped to make like the ideal scenario for serving the client. So I believe we can use this kind of or using the AI solution for helping us to overcome some future challenges of certain projects,
Yeah.
using the historical analysis of similar challenges and similar ways of action that has led to, like, efficient decisions or efficient project management. So I believe this is can be happen using the AI and using the historical data embedded in the AI.
Yeah, and you did mention the challenge with that about data earlier, because
Yes,
it's I'm sure, if you haven't got the historical data, the AI may inadvertently give you the wrong lessons, as it were,
yeah,
or
sure,
the long recommendations.
yeah, sure.
Again, focusing on the human side, do you see other challenges around AI?
Yeah, sure. For the human side, it's like, missing the emotional intelligence side of project management, because if you have like a human project manager, you have like the human interaction between the project team and the project managers, and we are missing this kind of of a skill, or this kind of behavior between people, the human skills between people inside the project, the human feelings, the human aspect of project management, motivating, delegating, things like that. So I believe this kind of aspects can be missed in using AI. So we need to I believe there is the overcome scenario for this can be, using like a hybrid approach, using AI human approach. It's not neglecting the human side and not neglecting the AI side of project management.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because I was going to
Right.
ask you about that. I mean, I've seen AI speak to AI, it's kind of scary, as it were.
Yeah, sure.
But I think your point is certainly in the medium term, that hybrid of leveraging AI to be able to do your job better, so that we can focus on what we do best as human, which is talking, communicating, inferring, decision making, dare I say. So I certainly concur. May I ask you, do you think we'll ever get there where there will be large scale job displacement through AI? And again, on the human side of project management.
Yeah, I can say it's not like a job replacement. It's like, the change of the job designs, the kind of skill sets that is gonna be required for each job, and the shape of the job nature itself. So I cannot say that it's not a job replacement. It's like an evolution for each job role, changing the skill set required for each job. So I believe this is gonna be happen.
Yeah, I think there'll be new jobs
Yes.
created, jobs evolved, as you said, but I
Yes.
think there will be some jobs displaced, and
Yes.
I think the obvious answer to that is those ones that are more at the administrative end, where AI can do the automation that the humans used to do. I was actually on a very interesting talk by some academics the other day, and they were talking about there is an opportunity for AI to whole scale displace lots and lots of roles and functions around project management. They were talking about costs, scope, procurement, HR, and their driver behind that was the type of data that was involved. So they were saying that the more tacit data, the more human elements of data, back to decision making, that AI wouldn't take over those as well. So it's interesting that certainly academics are seeing that there could be whole scale displacement if we decide to undertake it. So I guess it's a question of when.
Yeah, it will take time for sure.
Yeah.
And it depends on the maturity of market in which the AI is implemented, because there is it's like it's always in the market, especially for the technology, there is like the early adapters of the technology or the early adapters of the evolution. So I believe, yeah, this may happen, but it may the time or when, it depends on the maturity of the market in which the technology is implemented.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to a day, and I think it was Elon Musk who said we can choose whether we work or not. And I hope, you know, maybe those that do take the benefits of the efficiencies to drive, you know, their respective businesses, that, you know, fair play to them, as it were. But I hope that those people ultimately, you know, sometimes would give a human rather than robot a piece of work, as it were, you know. So now, we've been speaking for coming up for half an hour. I must ask you, if there was one sort of headline takeaway from this brief conversation around AI, what would you suggest it would be from your perspective?
Yeah, what I suggest from my own perspective, and the key takeaways from my own, it's like, you know, the strategic advantage with of the AI with the human touch. It's like, you know, AI is transforming the project management by, for example, optimizing resources, identifying risks, and streamline working flows. However, it's like, you know, it's most effective when it's used alongside with human expertise, not as a replacement. You know, it's you know, the perception of the AI. It's not a replacement. What I can consider, it's like complementing the human rule, and it's balancing AI with human insight. While AI, for example, bring efficiency and precision, successful project management still requires human judgment. So we cannot neglect at all. Yeah, the human judgment, emotional intelligence, and because, you know, there is, like, you know, the sense of the team dynamics in project management. So this is what I can see. I can see as a takeaway, it's like the future skills and adaptability of the future skill, because, you know, the type of the skill set required from the project management, and I can say for each function, I can say is gonna be changed. So the project managers needs to be equipped with the new skill set of the AI in order to efficiently manage the projects that they are working for.
Fantastic. Well, you heard it here, people. Get the balance right between the AI and the human. Mohammed, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me today, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the future. But thank you very much for sparing the time.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thanks for the interesting questions. And I wish we can meet in the near future.
Brilliant. You take care now.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.